Hello, Grace Harbor family. I am so glad to bring you the devotional today. Today it's from Colossians chapter 3, verse 8 and 9. And what this passage says is this: "But now you must put them all away: anger, wrath, malice, slander, obscene talk from your mouth. Do not lie to one another, seeing that you have put off the old self with its practices." Now, Paul is writing to this church and he's trying to almost like retrain them and remind them of their commitment to Christ. And he's reminding them of what they used to be like and what they are expected to be like now, to throw off that old self. And that's what I want to do today in this devotion. I want to remind us that we need to throw off our old self. Our old self, before we called ourselves believers, we were easily angered. We reacted out of malice and had just such contempt for other people. We would talk slanderously behind their back or to their face. And now that we're believers, we don't do that anymore. Right? I'm being facetious. I am joking around. Obviously, just because you call yourself a Christian, just because you follow faith and you read your Bible, possibly, it does not mean that you don't get angry or that you're not malicious or whatever. Because I'm sure many of you, like me, have had those reactions to people. But that's not what we're talking about here. We're saying that happens. Sometimes we're going to act that way. It doesn't mean that we change just completely by being a believer in Jesus. No, our goal is to be like Christ, who was in fact perfect, but we are not perfect. But we strive to live like Jesus Christ. And so I encourage you today, we should be looking at our past and seeing that it's different than how we are today. Even if you've been a Christian for a long time, when you look back, if you've been a Christian for 50 years, if you look back just 10 years ago, you should still look differently today, because this faith walk is a journey and we should continuously be moving forward. And so my personal goal, I wrote it down so that you guys could see it, is that I would grow in grace and boldness and in mercy. And I'm wearing my mercy shirt today, but I would just grow in grace, boldness, and mercy. Why? Because when I take off the old self, when I leave that behind, I have to grow in grace, boldness, and mercy in my faith. Why? Because the Bible constantly reminds me, just like Paul says here, like, put off those old things that used to hold you down, that used to define you, and now move into this new light. Why don't you help me today? Why don't we all, as a church, as a body of believers, take ourselves from our old selves and leave that behind and move forward today? I love you all. I pray that this blesses you and that you have a great day. Love you.